recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, the American economy needs help. Our neighbors, our friends, our constituents, they're hurting. And there's not a member in this body on either side of the aisle that doesn't understand that. And I think everyone in this chamber on both sides of the aisle understands the Congress needs to act, and we need to act now to help American families and help small businesses and to help bring more confidence back to our economy. The question is, how do you do that? The President, when he outlined his desires for this bill, summed it up pretty simply when he said this bill needs to be about jobs. I don't think there's anybody in this chamber that disagrees that this bill needs to be about jobs, preserving jobs in America and helping to create new jobs and helping to get our economy rolling again. But a bill that was supposed to be about jobs, jobs, jobs has turned into a bill that's all about spending, spending, and spending. This is disappointing. The American people expect more of us. They expect to have something that's going to work for them. And my opposition to this bill isn't the fact that we're doing a bill. We need to act. But how? When you look at some of the spending in this bill, it will do nothing about creating jobs in America. Tell me how spending $50 million for some salt marsh mouse in San Francisco is going to help a struggling auto worker in Ohio. Tell me how spending $8 billion in this bill to have a high-speed rail line between Los Angeles and Las Vegas is going to help the construction worker in my district. Or how about the family who called me about the fact that the breadwinner in the family's hours are going to be cut from 40 hours to 20 hours. Can't hardly make his payment. What's it do for him? Absolutely nothing. And so my concern about this is that we have to have a plan that will work for the American people, work for families, work for small businesses, and help get our economy going again. I don't think this bill does it. I hope this bill works. I really do, for the good of our country. But my concern is that the plan that's outlined will not do what we want it to do. That's why Republicans came to the table with what we thought was a better idea. A plan that would create twice as many jobs as the bill that we're debating at exactly half the cost. But our ideas weren't considered. We weren't allowed in the room. We weren't allowed to participate at all. And all the talk about bipartisanship that we've heard over the last several months went down the drain. Now, my Democrat colleagues know I know how to be bipartisan, even when we were in the majority. I've worked with many members on the other side of the aisle to bring bills to this floor that truly were done together. But we would usually start at the beginning of the process. Not only were we not included at the beginning of the process, we weren't even included at the end of the process. And it's not about us being excluded. It's about our ideas to help make this economy better. Our ideas about how to give American families and small businesses the ability to keep more of what they earn, to help their families, to help their businesses, to create more jobs. That's what the American people want. They don't want more spending on a couple $100 million to get the country ready for some national health plan, money that's going to go to the bureaucracy. They want to know how their budgets are going to be helped. And unfortunately, they're not. If all of that wasn't enough, here we are with 1,100 pages. 1,100 pages not one member of this body has read. Not one. There may be some staffer over in the Appropriations Committee that read all of this last night. I don't know how you could read 1,100 pages between midnight and now. Not one member's read this. What happened to the promise that we're going to let the American people see what's in this bill for 48 hours? But nope, we don't have time to do that. We owe it to the American people to get this bill right. We owe it to American families, we owe it to small businesses, and we owe it to ourselves to get this right so that we can, in fact, help our economy. I don't believe this is the way to do it. It's disappointing the way this process has worked and the outcome that we've got. And I'm a big believer we shouldn't come to the floor and talk about process, but bad process leads to bad policy. And that's what we have here, in my view. Bad policy that will drive up the debt and put all of this cost in the back of our kids and our grandkids and their kids. I hope it works, but I surely have my doubts. So I'm going to vote no. I'm going to vote no, and I'm going to hope that the next time that we get into a major piece of legislation on this floor that you'll include us. You'll include our ideas. I said on the opening day that Republicans would not be the party of no, that we would be the party of better ideas. And I'm committed to bringing better ideas to the floor. And let's debate those better ideas. Our tax policy, fast-acting tax policy that helps American families and small businesses does in fact create twice as many jobs. Twice as many jobs. Because we allow the American people to keep their money, to invest in their family and their small business. We're not interested in growing the size of government. I asked my colleagues yesterday in our conference, think about the first time you ran for Congress. The freshman members can remember this because they just did it. For me, it was 18 years ago, but I can tell you what I said 18 years ago. That I would come here to fight for a smaller, less costly, and more accountable federal government. This is the epitome of what I came here to stop. And I don't think there's one member of Congress who came here to pass an $890 billion bill. You add interest on it, about $1.1 trillion of spending to help grow the size of the federal government and to do very little to help American families and small businesses. I'd suggest that you vote no.
The gentleman yields back the balance of his time. The gentleman from Wisconsin.